What's up, everybody?
Check.
We are trying to get this live stream going properly, but we're having issues.
Trying to get it right.
Of course, it's the first time, so we're going to have issues, even though we tried to work all of this out ahead of time.
It's been like a month.
It just doesn't fail that there's always glitches. So
that is the struggle.
That is the struggle.
You push through and you continue.
Everything seems to be working okay now, though.
You're not a victim of bad technology.
Right, and you're not going to let it stop you. We never let it stop us. We continue to move on, push on, because we're young lions.
Roar.
So for all the people that were on Facebook, this will be live again in a couple minutes. Hopefully it won't be glitchy. We had the most people watching on Facebook, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Facebook just is so freaking fickle that...
Get your shit together, Facebook.
Come on, Facebook. Well, I know Facebook doesn't like you streaming to multiple platforms at once. Like, there's something about that. Like, even with the Wirecast, like, you can't physically... stream to Facebook. Well, if you put your Facebook account in Wirestream, it will say you can't stream anywhere else. So you have to use like the server key to stream to Facebook and other platforms
because they're stingy.
Yeah,
you know
Zuckerberg, he's greedy. He's
a
greedy guy, man.
You got enough money.
You got
Mark.
enough. You got
Mark.
billions. Come on, Mark.
What's up with your people, Carter?
Oh, he's Jewish too?
Zuckerberg?
No, I'm playing.
Okay. I was about to say. Okay, so yeah, we're here.
We're live?
We're live.
Not on Facebook yet.
We're gonna keep trying this. What'd you guys do today? Let's talk about that.
I painted with Jake.
You painted? You guys painted? How'd that go?
Went good.
Yeah.
We're good as a team.
Any more issues?
No.
No.
Well, no. Not today.
Yeah, no. My neck.
So that's kind of another thing we're doing. We gotta what do you call it?
Property
flip.
Property.
House flipping.
House flipping business.
Yeah,
flip.
With our good boss up there, Dave Still.
Our partner, David Still, Climax Entertainment.
Yeah, we try to dabble in a lot of things, you know.
Not always successful.
Hey, man.
Hey.
You got to keep trying. Listen, we've been in business as a record label for many, many years. Thank God.
How many years, Jamie? How many years?
It's been, well, we came into this, we got into this building in 2004. So
I wouldn't be able to tell you what date we started. None of that.
Think about that.
2010.
Yeah, 2004. Wow. Because remember we got in the building and started working on How Bad You Want It. How Bad You Want It came out November 2nd, 2004. So
wasn't it before that though? It's been a long time.
Fellas, how'd it go?
Awesome. Young Lions, what's up?
Hey, look nice. Hey. Come over here, guys.
Come on, say hi to the peoples.
Come.
The very first guests on the Young Lion podcast.
This is my fake chair right here.
Yeah. So this is Aaron and Dan, otherwise known as Abel. He's a rapper, and he was the one featured on the Young Lion song. And he was just meeting with Dave, talking about how we're going to work together and do some amazing things, as always. And, just tell the people a little bit.
About myself?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my name is Aaron Nazario. I go by Abel because I believe it actually came in a really silly way. My cousin, we were like all naming ourselves. At that time, I was messing around rapping. And so her name is Anissa, so we called her Gracious Nis. And then my sister's Megan, we called her Messiah. And my cousin was Timmy, we called him T Scripture. And then I initially called myself A Rapture. But she was like, yo, what about Abel? And I was like, actually, I kind of like that, but not in the sense of like Abel in the Bible, like Cain and Abel, but like Abel as in God is able. And I feel like I love that name because it just embodies who, like in any circumstance, God is able. You know, so yeah, so I roll with that from the Bronx initially. And it's been a crazy journey, one that I feel like I can't take credit for in any sense. I mean, even just meeting these guys was a very not traditional way. I still tell the story today whenever people ask, and it's like, it doesn't make sense why I'm in this house right now, other than God. So,
yes, sir.
This man right here, can we put the camera on Mr. Jake?
And we got Dan.
This dude's all okay. Here we go. Should I pass this mic right here?
Pass the mic.
Hey.
So what do you do? What do you do, Dan?
So I actually run a media
It's so
production
fun. They're on their
company.
knees right now.
Yeah, we
I
are.
feel so bad.
We don't have chairs yet. Someday we'll sit at the table.
Hey, we didn't even know you guys were going to be here.
It's good timing. I've been waiting for this podcast to come out, so it's cool that I made the first episode.
Yeah.
By happenstance.
Yeah, so good. But yeah, I run a media production company called Ripe Creation. We're artist focused. We like to work with artists, and I've also been working with Aaron and the Ripe Music team, and we're trying to create something really good. We're trying to just be uplifting in a community that's for people and to bear good fruit.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's what it's about. So
Yeah.
we're working with them because they're good people, and yeah, you guys are cool.
Amen. So are you.
Thank you.
I just want to say this. You don't find people like these guys everywhere. It's not a joke. These dudes are as good as they come. Incredible, serious, genuine. It can get us emotional when we think about the people that are in our lives, because we don't feel like I personally, I'm gonna speak for myself. I don't feel like I did something. He feels this way too. We don't feel like we necessarily did something to network or like go out of our way to find good people. It just keeps coming our way, and so it just makes us so aware that it's not us, and we're just so thankful. Honestly, and these dudes are incredibly talented, and it's just crazy that they're so generous and so loving, and willing to put other people first. It's just an incredible example to have, because this is exactly what we want to do with our lives. You know, we want to create opportunities for other people. We want to be the ones who like put others before ourselves and give them a platform. We want to speak value into people, because we feel like artists are so elevated all the time, and people kind of like, oh, they're more important. I feel like that gives us a perfect opportunity to step off of the stage, remove ourselves from this pedestal, and kind of speak the value and life into people so that they can feel empowered to go change the world. You know what I mean? Like in their everyday lives.
Yeah.
That's something that I learned early on in my life, is that a platform doesn't have to be a stage with a microphone. A platform could be your kitchen. A platform could be your job place, you know what I'm saying, getting coffee with somebody. Mm-hmm. Like, we all have influence over people. Community. Positive or negative. Right. Community, you know what I'm saying?
Community is communion. It's communicating. Right. All those comes.
There you go, man. It's like we all want that limelight, man, but it's a great responsibility to have that much influence over people. Yeah, you know, man. So like,
it's crazy. Like, how old are you?
I'm 23.
They got that so young. We didn't get that when we first started out.
We had to learn the hard way. Yeah. But we went through it, so others didn't have to. Yeah. Yeah.
I respect that.
I was 23 when we moved into this building.
Wow.
I was 23 when we moved into this building. So, like, think about that. Now you guys are here to come in and take advantage of everything that we built. Like, this literally, we built this thing with nothing. We all took. Yeah, we just heard telling you the stories.
Dave told you those
stories. Crazy. Oh my goodness.
Trust me, a lot of people that were watching on Facebook, a lot of people that know us for years, they know the struggle because they were there. Like, a lot of people, when we first started out, we would just harass them to buy our music. Harass them. Come on, buy this music. Come on. And that's what got us to be able to, keep going and build the company, build our studio, our office. I mean, everything that we have is all because of a belief that we had, and we know it was there because, you know, God put that in us. Right. You know what I mean? Even though we didn't know what it was at the time, but we knew that it was something that we had to put faith into. Like, we all quit our jobs at the same time. It was like, look, if we're gonna do this, let's put everything we got into it. You know, Dave was like, yo, let's all go in. Everybody put in your money. Let's, you know, we built a website.
Was it $800 a piece?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. Built a website, got some wax CDs pressed up, and forced them down everyone's throats we could find.
That was another thing, too, man. Like, our music was terrible when we first started.
He's not lying.
We saw those pictures.
Yo.
Why don't let them grab some chairs from over there? We got some other mics here too that y'all can use. So,
praise God.
Yeah.
I was in the prayer position for a second. I was on my knees and everything.
Yeah, we might as well.
Just let y'all sit in for a little bit, because
I mean, we're just,
since you're here, it's only fitting. You're on Young Lion. You might as well be on the first episode.
Yeah. So while we're doing that, I mean, I guess we can talk more about the picture, because that's
More about the picture.
Yeah. I mean, Simone's not here, but.
Let me get my headphones in.
But yeah, so that picture that's on the cover and our Young Lion TV.
You could go right where you were, and then you know, you can go in between. Abel, you could sit next to Moan if you want. You know, they're gonna steal y'all mics.
They can take them.
Yeah, so that picture, it represents so much, because you got this guy, and Simone, he'll never tell it right.
You know what's funny is, I don't think they even know this story, so it's going to be cool for them to hear this. Like,
I don't tell the story as good as Jamie.
Here, you can move over here.
Slide it down. I like that. Slide it down.
Jamie's the best storyteller ever.
Oh,
I'm not.
So, Abel, you get in my shot. Switch to my shot, Carter, so we can, when you get a chance, so we can make sure he's in there with me. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
And
looking crispy.
So we'll share a mic. You don't have my headphones, but it's all good.
I'll just put it in here. Sorry, guys, we don't have headphones.
Okay. We were talking about the picture on the Young Lion cover. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
The picture of him when he was a kid.
Picture of me.
I love that picture.
Do y'all know what that's from?
I think
Handsome little kid, by the way.
Is it? Wasn't that initially like getting? I don't want to say like.
Don't offend me. Do not offend me.
Or like on his way.
Yeah, no, literally,
Yeah.
it was him being brought here as a refugee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
By what though?
by a Christian
A
organization.
Christian organization. A family adopted my whole entire family to
Serious?
fly over and
Mic a little bit that way.
this way.
Yeah. Just, you're banging around a lot.
I'm
a lot.
back.
You need to put your headphones in so you can hear all that banging.
I'm no good.
Yeah, so basically Simone and his whole family came from a communist Cambodia when he was a kid. You know,
I mean, Simone was born without a country.
yeah.
You know, think about
Like
that.
it made life hell for us when we tried to get passports to do shows overseas because they couldn't find where
They'll
he was
never
from.
let me live that down.
Yeah, we had to miss.
Bro.
We had chances to go to amazing places.
Croatia,
and we couldn't go. Oh yeah, there's the cover
There's the
right there.
picture.
Yeah, that's cool.
featuring Abel.
Young
Yeah.
Lion.
Yeah, that's literally the picture, and we just had someone, impose Young Lion over but on there was his name and his refugee
shout
number.
outs to
That was such a creative.
AA Ron.
And there's literally a picture of his mom, his dad, his brothers, his sisters. Not sister. His sister was born.
She was born in
But
Philadelphia.
him and his brother,
Yeah.
and his mom and dad all have those pictures, and it's a whole bunch of pictures with that whole thing, like when they came here, and his mom was taken away from her family when she was a teenager. She was 13 years old and forced into slavery, or 11 or 12, something like that.
I think she was like 12.
And because there was like this dictator that took over Cambodia, and he was literally killing people, slaughtering people like crazy, and forcing the
Pol
young,
Pot.
yeah, Pol Pot. He was forcing the young people into slavery, and his mom was one of those people.
Well, he didn't call it slavery. It was it was agricultural
Labor.
Yeah, well, because he believed that, you know, the true Khmer was the farm workers, the field workers, the darker skinned ones were the true people, and they deserved to be, you know, the only ones that lived there. Wow. And he believed that everyone else, anyone who had like Chinese blood, anyone who was tall, anyone who was light skinned, he would kill you. Like,
or smart.
Yeah, if you were a doctor, a teacher, lawyer, anything, he would just kill you. And his mom was able to escape when she was really young, when she was still a teenager, and had to walk for miles and miles and miles to get to Thailand, where there was a refugee camp set up. And that's what
ate a dead elephant along the way.
Yo, he was telling me that story.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I was like,
I always think about that. Like,
what did you say?
She ate a dead elephant with her friend. Her friend, who was with, they both ate this elephant, and her friend, she went into convulsions and started foaming at the mouth, and
she
died right there. Wow. Yeah, so that's like
I was thinking, like, if we did a movie, if we ever made a movie about your mom's story, it would be called Dead Elephants. That would be a dope name.
Dead Elephants. Yeah,
that's crazy. And I never knew. She never told me about that. Like, there was a lot of stuff she never told me until we interviewed her that one time.
Yeah, one day we're gonna do a podcast all about that, and I want to bring in all those clips from interviewing your mom, and like show people from her mouth what she dealt with and like how she made it to Thailand and the things that she saw. Like that, it's crazy, man.
And then another thing is, we're blessed in America. Like, you gotta appreciate being in America when you see what people have gone through all over the world.
Because that was not too long ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That
was late 70s.
He was born 1980, so that's when he was born in the refugee camp. You know what I mean? So this happened right around there. So it's not like this was, you know, back in the Nazi days. You know what I mean? Like,
so stop all y'all complaining, man. This country is awesome.
But that's why we're talking about young lions, because lions don't complain. You know what I mean? Like,
they roar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like you said in your rap. You know what I mean? It's like it's like you said in your rap. You've been told you're a prince, but you're blind to it, so you fail to walk in the prince. It's true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody doesn't realize the potential that they have as a human being that's alive and breathing every day.
You can't be a victim and a ruler at the same time.
Exactly. It doesn't work. So if people can convince you to be a victim, then they can rule over you. Mm-hmm. That's why there's so many pushes.
Or you can they can seduce you into allowing them to rule over you.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's like the key. It's a seduction.
Right. Yeah. And it is intriguing. Like, there is something, they've made a culture of celebrating victimhood now. Mm-hmm. So it's like there's almost a monetary value in that now.
Yeah.
So for you to then find where you're a victim at now brings value to you.
Yep.
You know, so everyone's in search of that. Instead of searching on how to be an overcomer, it's like, all right, where am I a victim at? You know what I mean?
Because it's short term. It's short-term gain.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, in any way, like, you look at, people can come from, like, I didn't know who Jussie Smollett was.
Right.
You know?
I had no idea who that was.
I don't watch Empire.
Right.
And then this thing happened. You guys heard of that, right? Yeah. And all of a sudden, everybody knows who he is. You know? Right. And it went to the left.
Well, that was the point for everybody to. That's why he did it.
But
because there's that culture, like we're saying. There's that value system that's been put out there where it's like, if you think about it, he can be more famous being a victim than being a star on a TV show. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And there's perverted power in that.
But
you know,
true. you gonna fake it. You gotta do a little better than that, bro. Like,
Come on.
The first
Listen.
time I read this, I
Listen.
was talking to Jake the day it happened, right?
We all called it the day it
we're
happened.
like, yo, dude, come on. You're in
Because-
Chicago, the
right.
most liberal city ever.
Right.
And then you're going to Subway to get a whack ass sandwich or salad or whatever like that. 2:00 in the morning.
Hey man, don't you
the
dare talk
Arctic-
about Subway like that on our podcast. It's like no,
Brought to you by Subway.
right?
in the Arctic.
Eat fresh.
It was like
This will never be brought to you by Subway now. Sorry, we don't care. We don't care.
I'm sorry,
Listen,
Subway.
No, forget that. You mean what you said
I can't
because
stand Subway. What are you talking about?
yeah.
listen, we don't want to be beholden
I'm
to
not eating any
Subway
carbs anyway,
in
so-
any way. Like we want to be able to say whatever we want to say on here without worrying about who's paying for us.
Right. But the whole story just made absolutely no sense.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
'cause to
you
me-
live in a world with Grubhub and
was
you
about
know
to say.
get people to
Yeah.
deliver your
Forever.
stuff to you. You're gonna walk in negative 20.
Listen, the thing that killed it for me was just like you said. You don't watch Empire. I don't watch Empire. I didn't know who that was. You mean to tell me that two racist and homophobic Donald Trump supporters recognized you in the middle of the
guys
night?
You said they were white.
Yeah,
too.
but I'm just saying, like, you mean to tell me that they watch Empire
Exactly.
and they know who you were
Yeah.
right away?
Hey.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this don't add
Yeah.
up.
I still don't know the story.
You don't know the
You
story?
don't know the story?
Oh my gosh.
Wow,
Maybe you could spare me.
Yeah.
man.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
Is
crazy.
it even worth like
Yeah.
bringing
Not
it up?
worth it.
It's
Probably
like-
not worth it.
It's not because it's all a bunch of BS that
Yeah.
that you got hyped up in the
Yeah,
media.
I'm looking at that shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
I mean, it is what it is. It was just the funny thing to me was how many people just jumped on it like
Before-
this is horrible.
Right, yeah,
We're living
yeah.
in 2019.
Before they even know any details to it at all.
Because
All these celebrities coming to his rescue. Oh,
man,
modern day lynching.
because when people set up a narrative constantly and something like this breaks, they need it to be true because it advances their narrative, right?
Right.
So they need it to, like, how many people said that? Like, I've seen people tweet and even say to me, like, I need this to be true. Like, this needs to be right.
Hold up. Why do you need something negative to be right and true? Like, don't you like?
Because-
Isn't it better to know that this shit is not happening?
Not if you want to believe that it happens.
That's crazy to
If
me.
you
man.
want to believe that the world is so messed up, like, we know that the world is messed up. We know that there's issues. We know that there's problems. But when you want to live in a negative world to advance your feeling of being a victim, then you need stories like that to be true.
But you know what the hypocrisy is? Everything is about positive vibes.
Yeah, right.
Like everybody's like,
Yeah.
yo, don't ruin my vibe.
Yeah,
It's
no
like-
worries, bro. No
yeah,
worries.
like, that's so annoying to me. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
like you gotta have negative vibes because that's what makes you stronger, you know. But then those same people, they're the ones to jump on and judge something,
Right.
you know, so quick.
Okay, so we got to tell them. We got to tell them the story then, because I want to get their opinion on it real quick. So this dude, this actor who was on Empire,
making a good living.
making good money. Like, I don't know how true it is, but they were saying that his salary was from somewhere from $60,000 to $100,000 an episode, and he basically wasn't happy with that, or like allegedly he wasn't happy with that. They don't know for sure what the full story is. He's innocent until proven guilty, of course, but it doesn't look good. The Chicago PD is not playing with him, and so basically it started with him receiving a letter to the Fox building that was addressed to him from MAGA, Make America Great Again. And it was a picture of him getting lynched with someone pointing a gun at him, right? So he gets all frazzled about that, and then he felt like it didn't get enough attention, so he said, you know what? I'm going to stage an attack based off of that. So he got with two of his boys, two Nigerian guys, that, like, one of them was an extra on Empire
The other one was his
physical
personal
trainer. Yeah, personal
This is my country.
So he got.
No, they don't have
we
an
should
accent.
we should pull up that skit that.
Oh,
Trevor,
the Daily Show skit.
Trevor,
That thing is hilarious.
I'll probably get copyright.
But so he coordinated this whole thing with them where he was going to stage this attack to happen in the middle of the night in Chicago, right in front of this camera that was in the street, where it was going to show that he got beat up by two dudes in MAGA hats, you know, shouting racial and homophobic slurs at him.
It had just happened to have bleach.
Yeah, they had bleach.
And
they had bleach and a noose
in minus 50
yeah.
degree weather.
So apparently, like, you know, they staged this whole thing. They fake a fight. They beat him up. They put a noose around his neck and pour bleach on him. And he somehow never loses his Subway sandwich, and he's on the phone with his manager the whole time.
Yeah.
And then he gets back to the police, but when they get there, he makes them turn off their body cameras, and then
The noose is still around him.
The noose was still around his neck at that point, and
3 hours later.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it just, like, a lot of it started to not add up, and then it, you know, at first he was saying because TMZ dropped it first, saying that, you know, two white Donald Trump supporters attacked Jussie Smollett, and it was, you know, racist, homophobic, hate crime, and the whole news just went haywire with it. You know, everybody was posting it up, everybody was tweeting about it, Congress people were tweeting about it. You know, this is a modern day lynching and all this stuff, and then come to find out that the whole thing was staged. So it's like, now it's like this huge story of like fake hate crimes and like people staging these things, and why would you do that? And that's why we're whole about that story.
And so desperate to make it known that he's offended, and like to the point where he'd create a fake scenario to say, "Hey, this is actually going on." You know, I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me, but I'm like, what's the root of that? Because he's a person, whether he's famous or not. What is he really dealing with? Like, what's the root of it? And you know, people, with the media blowing up about it, like, people identify with pain. To them, it was real, you know. So,
yeah, I mean, I think to what you're saying, like, lying is not that big of a deal,
right?
In terms of the industry that they're in. You know what I mean? Like,
well, they make a living off of that.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a big, like,
Yeah.
is he a criminal? Like, was he got in trouble with the law for doing that?
Yeah, he's got charged.
That's like, you can't pretend that someone
felony.
tried to
That's a
kill you,
felony.
basically. Yeah.
Especially when you make the police investigate and everything. So
That's like,
Taxpayers' money, man.
wow. I'm clueless. I'm pretty disconnected to social media in that way. I had no idea that was a story. I mean, thanks for enlightening me. My thoughts, I really don't. I mean, God bless that man. I really hope that there's some sort of reconciliation to that deep inside problem there. I don't know. Yeah. Go ahead, Dan. You take it away, buddy. I don't know.
Dan's face is hilarious.
Did you know anything about it, Dan?
Yeah, I just chose to like never talk about it.
Why? It's a touchy subject.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I mean, in general, I don't do much on social media, like, because it's just not the best way to communicate in my mind.
Agreed.
I like
Yeah.
that.
We suck at social media.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for like promotion and stuff, and like good art and all that. But as a straight white man, I will get torn apart just to speak on something like
But
this.
see, that's
But
a
why
shame.
though?
That's a
To
shame.
me, that's ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
the fact that you even feel that way, like, I can't say what I truly think because this is who I am. Like, I feel like this is like the agenda that's trying to be pushed. It's like,
Well, yeah, it is. If you feel self-conscious about being anything or not wanting to offend somebody, you've already lost
right.
because you're not going to stand for truth.
Or
You know what I mean?
you've been silenced in a way.
Yeah.
You've been silenced
Yep.
before you can even have an opinion. It's like,
I mean, I have opinions, but it's just on things like this that are like insanity. it's almost like what am I adding to the conversation? I mean, I think the guy probably has mental illness. Like
Could be.
Or he's just
Yeah.
like, I know actors can get like very.
And the other thing, the
themselves.
other real thing is that this dude grew up in Hollywood, and you know
Yeah.
Hollywood is a
Yeah.
messed up place. Like,
Yeah.
especially as child actors go. You know what I mean? I was just showing my wife the Shirley Temple stuff today. She couldn't believe it, man. You ever see that?
No,
You've never seen that?
no.
Like
I have, but
Shirley
you
Temple-
want to get into that?
why not?
All right.
This is real. Like, we're talking about this. Like, Hollywood
It's
is
real
crazy.
TV.
You're talking about in the 1930s when they used to literally show these little shorts before films. You would go to the movie theater, they would show these shorts before films. It was called Baby Burlesque, where it would be
Baby burlesque.
it would be like Shirley Temple, a bunch of other little babies, little 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and they'll all be in this bar scene. It's on YouTube. You can find the video. Like, they still exist. And the fact that they're not taken down is crazy to me. But, like, you can see, like, she's dressed in, like, burlesque dancer clothes. She's 3 years old. Mm-hmm. And then there's, like, the boy babies are in there trying to court her. And she's like, you know, you can't afford me, all this stuff. Like, craziness.
Wow.
And when you look at that, and then you look at the concepts of the films that she was in after that, like, even the dance numbers, like, were really suggestive, and like there was a lot of like sexual stuff in there. It was weird, and you never think about it
That
when
a
you're
child
younger.
should
Yeah,
not be doing.
yeah. It made it seem so normal, but when you go back and watch that, it's like, yo, this isn't normal. Like,
Right.
you know, she's singing Good Ship Lollipop, and there's all these dudes carrying her around, and it's like weird. You know what I mean? But Hollywood has always had that weird, you know, we've seen documentaries, we've heard stories about, and we've been there. So it's like we kind of experienced the weirdo stuff. So
Dude, we were in the same, I guess it was like an apartment complex with
Yeah.
Corey Haim. You know
yeah,
who that is?
that's right.
He was like an 80s teenage child star. He ended up dying. What, did he overdose?
I think he OD'd or he killed himself.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he was molested like as a kid. So there's like
Like
this.
numerous times by agents, by directors,
Yeah.
and well, I mean, allegedly, Corey Feldman is like very adamant about that. I don't think Corey Haim ever like really came out and
Speaking-
admitted it,
Yeah.
and his mom
Speaking
refutes
of
that.
molesting, the Michael Jackson
Oh,
documentary.
Dude,
Did you watch
I
that?
haven't watched it because I don't have HBO right now, but that is crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Like, I have seen the clips and I have heard like the details, and part of me is like, okay, I get why people are skeptical because these dudes did exonerate him at first.
yeah.
and
Well,
now
the
it-
one kid that it was the kid Wade something.
Wade Robinson.
Wade Robinson,
Yeah.
who was the
Choreographer.
choreographer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's him and another kid who was on tour with him. I actually remember seeing him, like videos of him.
Yeah,
He tells it all.
yeah. But
So-
did you watch it?
I did.
Okay,
I did.
both of them.
I just watched the first episode.
Okay, because I know there was a second one yesterday, and then they did like an interview with Oprah afterwards. People were mad at Oprah because she's
I
like,
knew when I saw Oprah, I was like, they're gonna be mad as hell at her.
Yo, it's crazy how people like idolize celebrities and pop stars so much that it's like even confronted with these type of, you know, stories, they still don't want to.
That's exactly what I was thinking, dude. Like, when the kid who was touring with him, right, Michael, you know, built this relationship, and they was like, just so starstruck that it was Michael Jackson that they just let their 10-year-old, 11-year-old kid
Right.
sleep in the same bedroom as a grown man.
Yeah, man.
I have a 12-year-old. I would never ever do that.
It's a
Like,
weird.
It's like
dude, it's a weird thing.
no matter who you are.
I know, but there's this culture of like totally idolizing celebrities. You know what I mean? Especially when you grow up with them. Like, even the fact of like, think about how people put posters up on walls. You know what I mean? From an
some
early age.
posters.
But because it's normalized, right? But that shouldn't be normal.